Hey there, no concerns, no worries. I did get the okay from the building manager to take my mask off. She has locked me into this room so no one can come in or come out, and I have my hand sanitizer and my disinfectant spray right here behind the camera. So we're on this journey about how to purchase a home. What are you looking for? What are you doing? But I wanted to jump ahead a little bit because some of you might find yourself, well, hey Neil, I know about credit. I'm already pre-approved. I'm already in the search, but we're in a tight market. So that's why I wanted to share some tips for you right now on how to buy in a tight market as we are experiencing right here in South Florida. Now, one of the things that I'm going to encourage you to do is to get pre-qualified for a mortgage immediately. Meet with your realtor and your mortgage loan specialist, your money man, as I'm always saying, and just find out how much home you can afford, because unfortunately, time is not your friend in a tight market. Because more often than not, what's going to happen if you aren't pre-approved, you're going to fall in love with the home. It's going to be the one that makes your heart melt and gives you those goosebumps when you see the photographs. And then you're going to see it and it's going to make you feel even more excited, only to realize that in the process of you getting the lender all of the required documents that they need, the home has gone under contract. I know because I experience it with my buyers when I'm trying to educate them, and I have experienced it personally on the purchases that I went through in the beginning many years ago. So be sure that you get pre-qualified, pre-approved on the front end even before you get out and start looking at things. The next thing I'm going to encourage you to do is stay in close contact with your realtor. You know, if you have a great realtor, one who is worth their weight, then I'm going to encourage you to build a growing relationship with them, strengthen that relationship. And if you're really ready to purchase, you're probably going to be in communication with them on a daily basis, whether via phone call, text, email, smoke signals, homing pigeons, whatever it is, and let them know, hey, here's what I saw. What are you seeing? And that's going to lead us into this next tip that I'm giving all of my buyers today that I'm working with. And that is going to be on the lookout for properties on your own. I encourage you to look at realtor.com. I encourage you to get out in the neighborhoods that you want to purchase in. Drive around, see what they're like. If you see a for sale sign, take note of the address and the phone number on the sign. Don't call, but take note of that and then immediately get that information over to me, because I want to know what it is that you're seeing. And this is where I come in and use the years of expertise as a realtor to make sure that we negotiate or have the best relationship with the other side of the transaction for you. And I'm willing to bet that if you're working with a true real estate professional, they would encourage you to do the same. And then be ready to make a decision. You know, indecision is akin to procrastination. And in a tight market, time is not our friend, indecision is not our friend, and it can stand between you and opening the next chapter of your life. So when you see that home, remember, there's no such thing as a perfect home. There's always going to be something. But when you see that home that meets the majority of the criteria that you set in your pre-consultation, then be ready to make a decision. Say, all right, we feel good enough here. We think that we could see ourselves living here. We like the feel of driving up or pulling up at property, and this is what we want to call home. And then bid competitively. Now, in a market that is tight, that favors the sellers, we don't have the luxury of saying, let me submit a lowball offer to see how they're going to respond. More often than not, in tight markets, you're not ever going to get a response because they're getting offers from buyers who have already missed out on properties previously. So make sure that you bid competitively. And just as a piece of advice that I give each and every one of my clients, I always ask, how much are you willing to offer that if you did not get this property, you could still sleep at night. I believe that even for you in this journey, that would be a great piece of advice or a sound measuring stick in which to make your decisions. Instead of saying, man, I was willing to offer $1,000 more or $10,000 or $5, whatever it is, make the best offer so that if you get it, you're happy. But if you don't get it, you can sleep at night knowing that it was your best offer. So for my buyers that I'm working with, my encouragement in a market like this that heavily favors sellers because of the inventory challenges that we're seeing is to let's make our best and offer, our final and best offer first. And then let's see where the seller comes back, because when they send a counter, we can always stick to the guns and then of course present them with a defensible position for our value on the buyer side of the transaction. Keep contingencies to a minimum. We know that we want everything and the kitchen sink, but remember, more likely than not, you are purchasing a pre-owned home. I don't want to say a used home, a pre-owned home. Keep the contingencies to a minimum. Maybe you do want the 3% in closing cost credit, but do you really need the refrigerator that's in the garage that the seller has put in as an exemption? You know, so we want to keep as few contingencies in the contract as possible. We want to make it favor or be as attractive as possible to not only the seller, but also to their agent or their representative who is going to be operating in the best interest of their client, their customer, if they have that fiduciary duty. And then lastly, don't get caught in a buying frenzy. That is the last piece of advice. I know that you want to buy right now, that everything that I just shared with you, you're saying, okay, we're ready. However, there may come a time that we have to let logic overtake our emotion. So a great realtor is going to tell you, I know you like the home. However, let's not get caught up in the buying frenzy, in that auction environment. We might need to pump our brakes. This home is not the home for you for a number of reasons. And so that's something that I encourage you to have a conversation with your lender or the money man and your realtor. So I hope you enjoyed this video, found this information useful as you attempt to buy in a tight market. If you liked what you saw here, I'm going to encourage you to subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell icon so that you get the most relevant, accurate information right here first. We'd love to hear from you. So leave a comment, share this video, like this video, all of the above. And until the next time I see you or you see me, don't be average. Be world renowned. Take care.